Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? We are waiting on our guest, and our guest today is Miss Tara Nelson. She is a program director for Truancy, and she's going to join us today and talk a little bit about what she does, the mission she has. We are just running a few minutes behind, but I'm so glad you joined us this morning. If you haven't already, Coffee is has her digital collection series out. So make sure you see our digital cover. Our last digital cover story was on Reverend Wendell Martin. You can find information and the story article either on our YouTube, which is the Coffee Network. That's Coffee, Coffea, or you can visit us online at coffeemag.com. That's coffeeamag.com. And today I'm your host, Coffe Iman. So thanks again for joining us. We're gonna wait in a few, but how's everybody's weekend going? I know uh 2025 has been a year for us, but we're doing it and we're going to make sure we do it a little bit bigger. If you have a company or you would like to promote your brand, feel free to drop your websites in our comments. In the comment section, also drop your businesses, any way that we can contact you, follow you, support. Every Saturday, I will be going live at 9 a.m. with a special guest, talking about what they can do to help or give you advice on certain topics that they have or they cover or businesses that the industry that they're in. And if you have questions, make sure you drop the question. Like I said, today we are covering Miss Tara Nelson. She is the program director for Project Rebuild, a truancy prevention program that assists students and families with combating chronic absenteeism. I believe I'm saying it right. So she will be joining us in a few. Again, thanks for joining us. If you have questions for Miss Nelson, make sure you put it in the comment section. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, make sure you share, follow, like, subscribe. Also, if you have a business or a website you would like us to follow and support, be sure to comment that as well. We would appreciate all of your support with following us again. Following us so we can support each other. So just give us a few minutes. Thanks again for joining us this morning. If you are from a different location, I'm chiming in from the Midwest, but feel free to drop your city below. If you are friends of Miss Tara Nelson, make sure you give her a warm welcome. She'll be in a few. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the digital cover story for January. Again, I told you that is featuring the Reverend Wendell Martin. He's talking about pastoring, being a leader in the community, and the challenges faces raising a family and having multiple things on his plate. So make sure you check out that story. You can check out that story on coffeemag.com. Or you can check out that story also on the Coffee Network, which is our YouTube channel. So I appreciate you joining us this morning. Again, I'm your host, Miss Coffe Iman, and we are waiting for Miss Tara Nelson to hop on so we can ask her a few, get a little feedback, what's going on. Glad everyone is up, rise and shine. And tuning in with us this morning. So I appreciate your support. Last week we were blessed with the artist that's coming out. She's been doing some acting, and that was Miss Taylor Shanae. So if you haven't already, go back to the previous video and make sure you like and share that as well. She gave us a little sound and showed us her talents. So we appreciated that. That was fun. And if you haven't visited Coffee Mag at all, today's the day. Why not? Join us, give us feedback on it, subscribe, make sure you stay up to date on what we have going on. And we appreciate that. We always like to hear what business collaborations, ideas you have. If you have a business you need to support, if you have an event coming out, also drop that in the comments because that's good to have. So someone can join you in the event. You have ticket sales. We are also starting a film and book club. So if you have a favorite film you would like to talk about, or a film you haven't seen yet, make sure you tune in or subscribe on our site so we can also give you updates on the next film we're going to be talking about in the community, as well as books. We like to promote literacy as well as see who else is coming out new. Any new writers, if you have a book you would like us to put in our book club list, or if you are a filmmaker and you have a film you want us to also include in our film must see, must watch list, please drop that in the comments as well. And so we can support each other and see what's going on next in the community as well. We like to stick together. So again, thanks for joining us this morning. We have Miss Tara Nelson. She'll be in with us in a few. Just give us 1 second. I appreciate it. So like I said, I'm coming to you from the Midwest. It's been snowing. I don't know. We had continued prayers all week for the families in California. I don't know if anyone here has been affected by it, but if you have, and you know of any resources, please share that as well. We appreciate that. So if you have not followed or liked Coffee, please do that as well. We appreciate you there. Thanks for joining us this morning. We like to make sure we feature a person each week so we can all learn from each other, as well as support each other on our business ventures in our industry, and things of that nature. So again, if you have a business or a website or an account you want us to follow, please put that in the comments or the chat. If you are on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, make sure you follow and subscribe to the Coffee channel, so we can bring bigger audiences to you. Today we do have, like I said, Miss Tara Nelson will be talking about what she does in the community. She has a nonprofit. I want to say it's a nonprofit, and the program, she's a program director, and it's called Project Rebuild. So if you are part of Project Rebuild and you are watching us today, feel free to drop information about that so people can follow, show you support if you need donations. It is a truancy prevention program. So I know, we were in school, everybody might have skipped school and not skipped school, but this is to prevent kids from missing out on so many days of school and to get their education so they can go into higher learning. So we appreciate your time, your patience for you joining us this morning. Hopefully Miss Tara will join us in a second. So we're gonna stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys. Give me about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Hey everyone. Okay. So Miss Nelson will be in with us shortly. Like I said, thanks for joining us today. It is a little behind, but I'm glad you guys are up and still joining us. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And we will be having Miss Nelson join us. So let me get her on here with me. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you this morning?
I know it's early, but you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
So
So,
we've been talking about everything that you have, and that you are the program director for Project Rebuild. I don't know if you want to start there. So tell us a little bit about what Project Rebuild is.
uh, well, good morning, everyone. Sorry for my tardiness. However, um, Project Rebuild is a truancy termination program within the city of Gary. And, well, not only the city of Gary, we have Lake County, Porter County, and Marion County. And what we do is a intervention program as well as a prevention program to help navigate to see what has caused the issue of truancy and why the child is not going to school. And most people see it because we are like a specialty court. And once they see court, they assume that it's punitive, but it is not punitive. What it is a resource to help the families get back on track for what has caused the breakdown of the child not missing school, um, because you never know what is associated with chronic absenteeism, and it could be a lot of contributing factors that has put this in motion. And we help families navigate to get back, and help them with the resources within the community to get back on track.
Now, what have you seen that has been the main issue of chronic absenteeism?
Oh, you know, um, literacy and homelessness.
So is that increasing over the years in the work you've been putting in, or have you seen it plateau?
Homelessness has increased. Uh, with starting, we when we originally started, it was literacy, which you wouldn't have thought, but we that has been one of our main issues. It's been where the child has they just been passed through the system. Specifically, we had a case a couple of years ago where the child was in the 10th grade. However, he was actually reading and functioning on a third grade level. And the mother was had never learned to read herself. She was illiterate. And her oldest daughter that was in the home with them, she was 19. And she was a senior. However, she was the one that had been reading and signing and doing for mom to help her navigate. And it was like a revolving door. So that's a lot of what we originally started seeing. And then as we started doing this for more and more years, the number of homelessness or children displaced became more relevant. Just like, oh my God, it's coming more to the forefront, and that's a issue right there. Who, that's one of those issues that it's like, how can I help? How can I navigate? Because mothers are just trying to survive, and they're in survival mode. A
So
child in
how
school.
so in this process, what kind of services does Project Rebuild offer to help them overcome those challenges?
Connecting them with the different resources within the city.
Mm.
So,
And this is for what city? Just for clarification.
this is for Northwest Indiana, because we work with families in East Chicago. We work with families, some families in Gary. We work with families in Porter County. I just met with center in Porter County, whereas they do the homelessness to develop that connection where that if I have a family that's homeless and I need them to be placed somewhere temporarily, I can have that working relationships. So I just started making sure ground, that communication level for us to make that. In Marion County, they have it's a little bit different because they have our office down there that is run out of MCRC. They
Okay.
have a contract with Marriott East where families could be placed there temporarily until they find housing, and they help them navigate those issues with finding housing.
Now you have been going around public speaking about this issue. And what advice have you been giving these communities about trying to fix this issue? Because being illiterate or literacy isn't like an overnight type of fix. Neither is homelessness. So, how have you been educating those people on gaining resources or gaining the ability to overcome these challenges?
One thing, we can't work in silos. We have to work together as a unit because it's not a one size fits all. And you have to be able to help families see and meet families where they are, and try to say, okay, listen, because a lot of times you won't even know, the school won't know that the family is displaced. They feel more comfortable talking with your service agencies than they do coming to the school for fear of what can happen, or you may call or put the child in system, or they may be arrested. So that fear factor is when families come and they shut down. So your make sure you have your community service, your agencies, your non-for-profits, your people that work with families, that those are the best friends with schools. And one thing, and you have to work together. You have to, that open line of communication, that collaboration, and that coming together is so key, because you're gonna have to have it in order to help these families, because sometimes you never know when families then fell on a hard time. This is not a situation they want to be in, but they didn't fell on hard time, so let me do something to help them. And that's not all the time that they come and say something.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That has to be taxing emotionally, because now you are having to help them overcome the problem as well as seeing the problem. But there's not usually, even with that, it can happen again. So we hope that, with Project Rebuild and your initiatives on public speaking about it, that it can kind of change people's viewpoints on kids being absent versus them saying, oh, the kids are just in the street, or they're choosing not to go to school. But literacy is huge. And I believe most times it is overlooked. Um, and even when we were in school, or, back in the 1900s,
I'm like, oh.
when kids were out of school, I don't remember truancy officers being prominent, as them being, them checking them out and trying to figure out where these kids are. So you do get kind of lost in the system. What advice would you give the people listening or watching on how they can reach out and try to assist programs like yours in the community?
Find the ones that's helping service agencies, or look up your resources, find out, connect, ask questions, be open to talk, and have that open mind to find out what's going on in my community, because a lot of people don't know what's going on in their communities, or they know about one agency and they don't know about the next agency.
Okay.
Because I still find that a lot of people don't know about our agency, but when they find out, it's like, oh my God, how long have you all been around?
Right.
You doing such amazing work. We are so grateful you are here. How can I be a part? So it's getting the word out, and you're gonna have to get out there. How they say, boots on the ground, advocacy. You have to get out there. You have to network. You have to let people know what you are doing, because the service is needed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what else. Just advocacy. That
Well,
advocacy.
how can people reach out and help Project Rebuild?
Oh, you can always call 219-239-2917. And we are located at 605 South Lake Street. within the city of Gary, Indiana. However, you can also go to our website, and that is projectrebuildfoundation.org, and you can connect with us. So, and I'm always out all around the
Miss Sarah
city.
Nelson is always out. On this show and on this segment, and most shows that I have, I like to leave our guests with inspiring quotes. So, do you have a quote that can get someone through this weekend? Because 2025 is just being 25, and so we want to keep people motivated to go the extra mile this year.
I just heard this one, and I need to word it correctly because I just heard this one. And she said, sometimes we have to be grateful for what you got, and you can make it what you need it to be. Just take the time to communicate, look at it, see it for what it is, and ask questions. It is not hard, and see what doors get open for you. And the lady said that on the radio, and it made me, I had to think about it again once she said it. And it was like, okay, what did she just say? And I always leave my lasting words with when someone told me, you always be brief but brilliant. And that goes a long way.
Well,
And that's
thank
in whatever.
you. I love that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, here at Coffee Unfiltered, we like to give you some information about what's going on. Miss Tara Nelson is the program director for Project Rebuild. Make sure you follow them, subscribe. I will have more information on them soon. Again, every guest we have, we would like you to continue to support. As she's telling you, the main issues for student truancy is homelessness and literacy. So please make sure you contact your local schools or programs or resources, any way that you can help out with these kids and get them back in the school system or get them into the position where they can succeed in life. So we appreciate you, Miss Tara Nelson, for joining us today. Everyone that's here, make sure you follow Project Rebuild. And you can also contact Miss Tara Nelson if you want her to speak in your school district. I believe she's gonna go nationwide, right? If you want her to speak nationally about this issue, we appreciate you guys this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.